What's going on, good people? It's Will. I'm just going over yesterday's match, just pointing out some things that I liked, some things that I did not like. I'm a bit rusty when it comes to competition, so trying to see what I need to work on to get back into form, but it definitely felt good to be back out there. I'm only a B-class shooter, so if any of you have any feedback that you can provide, it'll be gladly accepted. So this is stage number 5. So this is actually the 5th stage that I shot during the day. These are out of order. So I'm going to let the stage play from third and first person, and then I'll come back in afterwards.
Stand by.
All right. So a couple things. First thing that I noticed is in the beginning, the buzzer's going to sound. You'll see my hands start to move, but my body's not moving, so my legs aren't moving. So I'm a little late just getting out of my stance as far as the marks that you had to start on. I believe this was heels on marks. So I have my body oriented in the position that the direction I'm going to go, but I'm not moving. So buzzer happens. He's saying stand by. You can see my arms lifting. My feet are still in place. So I don't even get my weight forward until pretty much my hand is on the gun. Gun comes out quick. As soon as it gets out to extension, I'm firing my first round, bang, another one, bang, immediately to the next target and then through steel. So that part I'm not unhappy with. I would have liked to have gotten better hits on that first target though. It was so close. I think I hit 2 C's on that. Those should have been A's all day. With that target being so close, but I feel like I did a good job attacking it and not over confirming. Just got to get A's on that and not C's. So over to this position. Feel like my gun was up early, which is good. Sorry. Coming over this way, gun was up as I'm settling down. 2 shots transition, 2 shots transition. Now coming into position here, I had 2 misses. So the original game plan was to shoot the activator, which is that piece of steel that starts the swinger, and then come back and shoot the head box, the credit card, to the left of it, and then back to the swinger. Essentially, I was shooting timid all day, so I decided to be timid again, and I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot the activator and come straight to the swinger, which I shouldn't have. Because what you're going to notice is when I finally hit the swinger after missing it twice coming in, which was horrible, when I finally hit the swinger, you're going to see me orient to the swinger, and then it doesn't come out, and then I end up just moving on because I'm wasting time, and I go to the other 2 pieces of paper, back to the swinger. 2 misses, see it's not there. And I go to the other targets, come back, get the head box, and now, instead of being able to trap that last target, I wanted to put my gun towards the bottom where it was going to swing into my sight picture, take 1 well-placed round. As it started to come back the other way, fire the second one. I couldn't do that. I ended up firing 3 shots at it. Managed to get a C and a D, so I hit it twice, but that could have been better had I had a better stage plan and not been shooting so scared. So that's what happens when you're not confident. So we'll go to the next stage. That was stage 5. And I believe my hits on stage 5 were, I'm ordering food, so I'm waiting for that. So let's look at my hits on stage 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 6 because it was a classifier. So I had 10 alphas, 9 Charlies, and a D. So the D was on the swinger. Those 9 Charlies definitely should be a lot better on a stage like that. There weren't any shots that were particularly difficult. The hardest thing was the credit card, but that's not 9 shots. So I should have had a lot more alphas on that particular one. And my time would have been better, which both would have boosted my hit factor. All right, so let's go to the next stage that we have on here. All right, so this is the first stage that we shot for the day. So this stage here, my original game plan was to attack this outside target attack the next one, and then shoot that one coming out of position, right? So you can see me here. The brother Glock Bay actually was recording me. I didn't know, and I was doing my walkthrough. And watch what I do during my walkthrough. You see me backing up. Now I'm shooting these targets slightly while moving, creeping, but I'm moving. Definitely on that first target in the far corner, I'm shooting that while backing out. However, being, shooting scared again, I can't find where it was. Shooting scared again, I didn't end up doing that. So what I ended up doing was standing still and then doing this awkward walk backwards. If I 1, 2, this is where I should be backing up. I'm not. That awkward ass walk backwards, and then I'm standing still again. Then I run over here and shoot those last 2 targets. Little play. Should be moving. Still should be moving. Still should be moving. I'm okay with these. Gun was up, coming in position, and I wasn't necessarily timid. But not shooting those targets in the middle on the last stage cost me a good amount of time. And if you're not familiar with USPSA, USPSA is points per second. It's your points total from the stage divided by your time, and they call that hit factor, but it's expressed basically points per second, your hit factor. So let's see what my points were on that stage. That was actually stage 1. So I had 11 alphas, 4 charlies, and 1 delta, which I'm not too mad at that. The delta's horrible. But had that delta been an alpha, I would have been okay with that because I would have been a large percentage of alphas. But the way it played out, considering I was standing still, I should have been shooting all alphas because none of those targets were difficult. All right, so let's go to the next one. This is stage number 1, 2, 3. This is technically stage 5. So I'll let this one play.
And bye.
All right, so that stage was a little tricky with the start position because you're standing with your hands on the marks and your gun is holstered, but you're not in the shooting area. So I don't think that you can really see any targets from that position anyway, but you're standing in an area where you have to run to the shooting area before you can engage, and your gun is holstered. So you pretty much have 2 options. You can either run to my left, I'm looking to my right, but you can run to your left and engage all those downrange targets and then have to bail and retreat and engage the uprange targets, or you can do what I did and run back uprange with your gun still in the holster. I put my hand on the gun, and then that way, as soon as my hips turn around, I could holster. So you don't want to break the 180. I did it this way, and looking back, I looked at there was a grandmaster there, and he did it the same way. So I felt good that my stage plan was at least solid. All right, so on this one, my base should have been a little better. I had some trouble just getting out of position. As you can see, once the buzzer sounds, I'm a little hesitant to move. I'm trying to push off, but my weight isn't low enough as it should be.
Are you ready? Bye.
Not as low. Find here, get the gun out quickly, start shooting fairly aggressive. I'm okay here, but I had some issues with that 1 piece of steel. I'll show you once we get to the first person. There's a 4 bail, and right here. So that second piece of steel I missed. The only good thing is that as I missed, you can tell that I fired that shot and I left, which is a good sign. But what I'm doing wrong is I'm going back to the steel. I should have kept going, got to the paper, and then come back to that steel last. See, I left, which is good. Hitting it would have been better, but I got to stop going back to a missed piece of steel right away, and that'll be a recurring theme. There's another piece of steel later on in the match that I did. On this one, I don't remember what my hits were. What did I say? This was 5. I think we looked at this already, but I can't remember. All right, so on 5, I had 12 alphas, 6 charlies. So again, none of those shots were particularly difficult. Should have had more alphas on that. and then missing that steel cost me some time as well, both of which cost me in my overall hit factor. So let's go to our next stage. All right, so the next one is fairly simple. It's a mirror image stage. You could start from either side. So it's pretty much draw, fire on those 3 targets. There's no shoot in the middle, obscure target, and then some hard cover in the front and back. And it's the same thing pretty much on the other side. I started on the left, just being a right-hand shooter. It's a little more awkward for me to lean to my left and bring the gun over since it's in my right hand. So what I did was I started leaning, standing in the position that I wanted to fire from. That way I was in a good position, and all I needed to do was draw and start to shoot. And then when I moved to the right, coming into position, I didn't have to worry about getting into any kind of awkward angle. It's a lot easier to shoot around cover to the right when you're right-handed, so I chose to shoot start on the left. I'll let this one play. Pretty simple. Let that play. All right, not too much to say about that one. I was okay. I did have a mic though. I put one in the hardcover. So that's just me just snatching the trigger a little bit, end up going a little bit low, and I ended up placing one in the hardcover. All right, so this is stage number 3. This one is an unloaded start. Magazines are on your belt. Unloaded gun is on the barrel in front. At the buzzer, you pretty much can go right or left. I think this was toe zone marks. But you're going to see I'm going to have, well, I'll let it play first. You'll see. All right, so on that, my stage plan pretty much worked, but I didn't execute it very well. As soon as the buzzer went off, you see my left hand, I'm going directly to my first mag pouch. That way, by the time I get my right hand on the gun, I had the magazine out, ready to get in the gun. The problem is, when I tried to put it in the gun, I had it at a fucked up angle. So let's go to the first person. All right. So grab my mag. So right here, the magazine is at a bad angle. You see the angle of the mag well is towards my body. The angle of the magazine is going kind of towards the barrel. And definitely at that point, it doesn't work, right? So I'm not going to get the magazine in the gun like that. So working reloads left to right are usually a little harder for me. I haven't done any unloaded starts in over a year. So rust definitely showed on this one. This probably cost me 3 seconds easy. Finally get the magazine in the gun. When I started shooting, I wasn't 100% sure if it was seated all the way or not. So I was kind of waiting for the magazine to fall out. Thankfully, it didn't. So once I got that in, I was able to start rack the gun, start shooting. Now on the steel, see I missed the other one? I was already to the paper, and I went back. See, that's the same problem I'm having again. I missed that last piece of steel. See, I'm almost to the paper. I should have just shot the paper and then come back to the steel. Thankfully, on this side, I wasn't able to have any misses on that side. But just shooting a little more tentative than I would like. On that stage, what I say, that was 3. So on 3, I had 10 alphas, 4 charlies, a delta. No, that's not 3. 1, 2. Yeah, that was 3. Oh, shit, I had a mic on that? Oh, I'm sorry, that's 4. We're going out of order. That was stage 4. So I had 11 alphas and 3 charlies. Which, again, though, considering the targets and how close some of them were, and then the rest of them were just open targets, that should have been all alphas all day. So that's the standard I want to be at for a target series like that or a stage like that. All right, so this is the last stage of the day, which was the third stage that we shot, stage number 3. It's pretty much set up like a classifier, but it's not. At the buzzer, you engage all 8 with 1 round freestyle, mandatory reload, and then engage all 8 again, 1 round weak hand only, and this is a Virginia count, which if you're not familiar, that means you cannot take any extra shots or those are penalties. Solid display.
Bye.
So on that one, I had been working on my strong hand, weak hand, which I hate doing, but since I got the Mandis, it's forced me to do it. So my strong hand only, weak hand only has improved. It's not where I want it, but it's much better than before. It stays like this. I typically would have had several mics based on that, but based on the fact that I had 8 shots strong, a weak hand only, and 2 of them had no shoots on them. I didn't have any no shoots. I did have a mic on the second shot from the left, or the second target from the left. You heard me say shit or whatever I said. I flinched a little bit, so I wasn't ready for the shot to break quite yet. Flinched, and that round it went beneath the target. I know it didn't hit shit, so I knew that was a mic, and I knew I also couldn't pick it up because it was Virginia count. But outside of that, replace that mic even with a C, and I'd have been okay with that because I think I had 4 C's on this one. So this is stage 3. So I had 10 alphas, 4 Charlies, a delta, and a mic. So replace that mic with a Charlie, and I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is the time. It was taking me forever with my weak hand only. And again, that's just me not knowing where that trigger breaks. I haven't been practicing with it. So I don't know where it breaks. So I'm just kind of guessing. And then also the reset's a little bit different. So the break is really short, but the reset is a little long. So I really need reps, but ammo constraints are kind of keeping me from doing that. All my reps are on a trigger that feels completely different, breaks completely different, and is actually a little heavier. But that's my match. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any feedback, definitely I'm willing to learn. So hit me with your feedback as well. Otherwise, y'all be safe.
Give me the 14 when it's 14. We kill 14. What you know about AR-15? The class 16. Making us start speed.